Alright, welcome back guys to another video. I know it's been a while since my last video. I've been pretty busy with stuff, but I'll try to be more consistent. So in this video we're going to be going over making a universal full auto. So make any gun that's a semi-auto gun into a full auto. So I have two different games here. I have Black Ops 2 and Far Cry. So you can see this gun is a semi-auto. It says like on the bottom right. And all you have to do is just launch this universal full auto app that we'll be making, and it just has a little menu right there, and now it turns into a full auto when you press the button. And we have a pistol here. Yeah, it's full auto. And then you can use any other gun. So here you see it says also single shot, so see it turns full auto. And this works for pretty much any game, and it's pretty simple to make, so I'll be going over how to do that. Okay, so first thing you're gonna want to do is open up Visual Studios, and if you don't have it installed, check out my first video in the series. I go over installing all the tools you'll be needing for the series. So once you have it up, hit create new project, and we're gonna be making an empty project, so just click next. And then right here it's gonna tell you put in your project name. So we're gonna put in full auto YouTube, and then the location of your project. So after that, just hit create, and then you should get a window like this, kind of empty. So from right here, just hit source files, right click it, add a new item, and then you're gonna hit the C++ file. And you can rename it main, or you can keep it the same. I like to rename mine main. And if you've been doing the Learncpp like I've mentioned in the previous videos, this shouldn't be new to you, but if you haven't, I'll explain everything. So right here I typed in hashtag include IOStream, and this is gonna give us the code we need to have an input and output. So the little menu we had in the intro, we're gonna be able to make that with that. And then we also need to include windows.h. And the reason we're including this is because we're gonna be simulating a mouse click. So the way the games register like another shot is they register the mouse clicks. So instead of physically clicking the mouse, we're gonna be simulating that through the program, and the program could do it much faster than we could do it physically. So this is gonna make us our menu, and this is gonna make us our mouse clicks. So to start our program off, we're gonna be needing to make this function right here, int main. And all these things right here, these braces, curly braces, it's all part of the C++ program. It's a little confusing at first, but it's pretty consistent. It's just a little learning curve when starting out, but after a while you get used to it. So once we get that, we're gonna want to return 0, and this basically is just saying that at the end of our program we're returning 0, which means no errors have occurred or anything. So you could return 1 or -1 if errors do happen in your program, but if it reaches the bottom of the program, no errors have occurred. So we'll be returning 0. And then right here we're gonna be making our menu. So we're gonna do a standard, this part of the standard namespace. So if you look into the Learncpp, it'll explain it more, but this console output is part of the standard namespace, so we'll be writing it like this. And then inside these quotations we could put whatever we want, and that will appear on our console. So we could type in universal full auto, and now if we run this, you'll see that we get universal full auto. So yeah, and then we can also make another line right here. If we put /n, that just creates a new line. So instead of continuing on with the line, it's like pressing enter on when you're writing a notepad. So this just create a new line. Right. So we create a new line, and then we could just put, to keep it consistent with the video, with the intro, I just put X button 1 and then full auto, and I'll do a new line at the end as well. So now if we run this, you see we have our menu from the beginning of the intro: universal full auto, X button 1 full auto. And yeah, so now to make it actually work, we need to simulate a mouse click. So first we're going to be needing to create an input object. So in C++, you're going to be running to a lot of objects, and an object, you could think of it pretty much how it sounds like an object. So the way I would describe it is, say if you have a notebook, that's an object in real life, and then you have properties of the notebook. So say you have a blue colored, spiral bound, or college ruled. Those are all properties of the object notebook. And say you have another notebook that's black and composition, that's two different notebooks with different properties, but they're both still a notebook, so they're both still the same object of a notebook. So that's pretty much the best I could describe it as. So we're going to be making an input object with the properties of a mouse click. So to do that in C++ is you just type in the name of the object, input, and then you give it the name. So we're going to just name it mouse input, and then you want to fill in the properties. So mouse input, and then dot to, and then you just hit a dot to access its properties, then type. We're going to say that this is the input mouse. So now we need to input what type of mouse click is going to be, since we have left click, right click, scroll wheels, and all those stuff. We want to specify which one is going to be. So we could put, we're going to fill in all these flags right here. So the DX is going to be if we want to change the mouse cursor position. We don't, so we're going to put 0. Same for the Y value as well. And then for the mouse data, that's used if we're going to be using the scroll wheel to specify how much we're going to scroll. We won't be doing that, so we could have set it 0. And let's see what else we have. We have time. We won't be needing time, so we can set that 0 as well. Extra info, we don't need to supply any extra info. And those are all the flags. So for the DW flags, just put mouse event F left down. So that would be creating a left down input. So now we want to make a while true loop. So this is a loop that the code in here will be running forever. So it'll just be running, and then it'll repeat itself over and over again until we exit the program. And you'll see these loops a lot in games, because games will just keep on running until you exit, or a lot of programs have these, so you'll be seeing this a lot. So we're going to do a sleep of a 1 millisecond. So every time it runs, it's going to sleep for a millisecond. You want to add this because if not, it'll be using a lot of processing power. So yeah, just add that so it's not so hard on your PC. And then we don't want to always be clicking left down. We only want to do it when we want it to. So we could do an if statement. So if get a key state vk underscore x button 1. So whenever we click the side button on the mouse 1, then we'll run the code inside of here. And the code is going to be send input, and then the number of inputs is just going to be 1, and then we're going to be passing in this input object that we created earlier, mouse input, and then the size of it, which is just the size of input. and then we're gonna sleep it 1. If you don't have to sleep in and you do another send input, what's gonna happen is it's gonna register so fast that the game's not gonna be able to register that you did a mouse click in the first place. So just add a little bit of a delay there so it could register. So now we're sending a mouse left down to our game, and now we want to send a mouse left up, because we're not going to be holding it. We want to press on it, lift up, press on it again. So just change this left down to left up and send the input again, and then we want to change it back to left down. So next time that we run it, it'll click it again. And that's pretty much it. So now if we run it, we'll see we get this little menu. And if we go into Firefox and we go to I don't know, a little clicker app that we could see how fast we could click, we could see that that's the wrong one. You can see that we're clicking pretty fast, and all we're doing is just holding down the button. So yeah, and you can use that in your games, and it'll simulate mouse clicks the whole time. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. If you like it, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I'll try to start uploading more content in the future. Thank you.